Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey and that resolves, and today we're going to be deck building again. So there's this card called Sediti and it's actually pretty decent. Whoops, not that. Let's focus on green. So this is one of the new legendaries, well, legendaries, mythics, I don't know. So this is one of the new cards from the new set, and this is Sediti the Killing Steel. So it's a Valkyrie, which is kind of relevant for what we're about to be doing, but it's also got the ability with Onslaught, which is play a curse of provocation on the enemy player, and that is super powerful because at the end of the cursed player's turn, if you didn't take damage, you draw a card. So if you're able to just like put a bunch of fat flyers, I'll be playing with things like Amilli and units of endurance like Icaria. It can be kind of hard for your opponent to be able to actually deal damage to you, so you're just going to be able to keep drawing like 2 cards a turn. It should be able to finish them off. So I do want to kind of bring back something that we've perhaps not seen in play for some time. This is Bulletshaper. So because the Sediti does need like 5 Justice pips, I'm going to be playing with Bulletshaper because Bulletshaper not only gives us one of the Justice pips and fixes our fire, but also works well with Privilege of Right. Just like helping get us those Justice Sigils, so we should be able to play Sediti sort of like on time. So I think we want to be playing like Little Icaria. I think we're going to play the Smuggler actually, just because I've always sort of been more impressed with this rather than like the actual Winchester. Although we don't get like redundancy, we get to pick up some like cool pieces in the market. So actual old style Icaria. So just to flesh out the actual market here, get the new Icaria in there. Probably want like a plate. Oops, that's not how you spell plate. In the market. So these are just sort of like things that you want that I think are kind of good. So in terms of other stuff for the main deck then, I think we want like Torch. Oops, also need to put fire in. And we probably want like the new deal 2, which is Char, so we'll shove that in the market. Because it deals with things like Relentless Moral, and you can just like go and grab that with your Red Canyon Smuggler and just like kill a thing. So you got the 4-1 to be able to block, well, practical 4-1, and the 2 damage on something else, so you should sort of be in good shape from there. I think that in the past I have had like Signal Fire in there, but just like this seems just better. You lose the scout, but you gain the fast speed, which is kind of nice to be able to blow sort of someone out. So I think we also want like Telut as just as our top end in the main deck. Because Icaria costs 8, which is something that's good to get towards. We can get towards because of like Privilege rank and we've got Bulletshaper, but I think that more consistently we probably just want like Telut. And we can also put like chains, and that's probably enough like top end to have in the market. Oops, not that. Yeah, not quite the chain we're looking for. This Marty's chains is probably just good in the market. Unfortunately enough, there's any sites we can actually play. Like in our factions, it's like Hygiene's Workshop, which is whatever. One of the few legendaries that I've not bothered making like a play set of in that set, because this set, what was it again? Defiance. Yeah, there's a lot of powerful stuff in that set actually. Wasn't so much synergy, but you know, still sort of fine. I guess we put Border. That's just like the random catch-all that we all put. Won't be putting Cho in this deck. I just don't think we need it really. But I do want like a bunch of flyers and just ways where we can actually just like basically attack for free. You know, we want things like Icaria and we want other Valkyries because Icaria does kind of care about Valkyries. Like for me, I always thought that Icaria was a powerful card. It was sort of jarring that it didn't like boost the ones in your deck, because that would be thematic. It would make sense to me that this is something that Icaria always does. She makes things in your deck better rather than things in your hand. But I guess that would be a lot more powerful. But in terms of Valkyries, we have some that we definitely want to fit in, which is stuff like Valkyrie Enforcer, just because that's just a really powerful card. And then there's some like along the way like Geomar, which is kind of fine. So you got like a lot of spells, which you do kind of want because of Bulletshaper. Then Geomar can be good. So we can put Geomar in for now, but we'll probably cut it for like a Spire Guard or something. But I think that Amilli, we're probably playing the max of this, so we're going to be like really heavy in Justice, and mostly just probably just kind of splashing for. Ooh, we've got a lot of powerful things here. We could be playing some Pristine lights. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing much with Pledging, so Silverwing Curry is probably out of the plan here. In terms of like other Valkyries, I guess like this is just like the snap keep. Probably don't want GMR, then plus get Spire Guards in there. Although they do play really well together, just like having spells makes GMR better, having spells makes Rizahn better. Yeah, let's put GMR in there. Because we do probably want some... we'll make some amount of split with like GMR and Spire Guard. just to make this like work. So we want some seek powers actually. That goes up to 50 already. So put some Vanquish. Just those ways to like deal with what's his chops? The old Sandstorm Tiger. That's probably kind of good. So I think that Geomar's probably better, but we're kind of low on spells here. We've only got 13, so I think we'll probably just have to cut him. Gods like this. This looks kind of good. So I do want some like pristine lights in here somewhere. Just need to find the room for it. So we can either have one in the market, or we can have like a couple in the main deck. I think that is the opportunity of just like having this in the main just sort of more powerful. I think it probably is just like having this. Yeah, because what would we cut at that point? Like, yeah, I kind of do want the Char sort of like more importantly, but yeah, I think like this is fine. So let's go to the power base and let's get that sorted. So we do want like a lot of justice sources. The emerald coin, not quite what we're looking for, to be honest. Crouch standard, I do kind of like 2 of them, just as something we can do. Get some Crest in here. Don't think we'll be bothering with like common cards. Don't want to go that deep because we do need like a critical mass of basic sigils, just because we are playing like the privilege of rank 8 and like probably a bunch of seeks actually. So we can flick back. Get to their power. One thing you'll notice when I'm doing these sort of decks is we are going to miss things. Like things are not going to be in the deck that you would expect to be in the deck, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. This is just to sort of like show a quick deck build, and then maybe you can go and take the deck and just like make it better. So we do have 25 actual power. We've got privilege rank 4 of them, and we can cheat it with the Bulletshaper's, and we've got 3 more here. So we've basically got 28 power, and then I'd probably count privilege of rank as maybe a little bit more. Also got some Telut, so we are going really high on the curve here. Up to 7, but we do have ways of putting power into play because we've got Icaria. Having Icaria being stuck on 2 and not being on 3 is kind of awful. But I think we'll probably find. I think I do want to find like 1 more power from somewhere. We've not really got any other ways to get fire. How much fire do we actually need? So if we're not doing this very often, so we need quads for Martyrs Chains. If we're only doing this from the market just as like a one-shot kill you, then that's probably fine. Maybe the Icaria doesn't need to be in there. We can like put the Pristine lights in there. I'm not too sure. But I probably want to like cut this, go up to like 10 of these, because we've not got too much of a fire requirement. Bulletshaper helps. Rakano Smuggler is kind of free because we've got 12, we've got 14 sources, and like Crest plus these, so like 17, 20 sources. Should be fine. So we're going to make like 1 cut, and I think that'll probably be like 1 Rizahn. Rizahn's good, but not amazing when we've only got like 16 spells. If Rizahn was still like 3 spells to be lifesteal, then that'd be great. Rizahn's still like a removal spell. It's still going to kill a site and then kill your opponent. But for now, this is just like the concept. So I'm going to take some ladder. I'm just going to fire it off like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 games, see how we feel with it, and then come to the wrap up. But yeah, let's go. Should probably, whoops, wrong screen. Yeah, I should probably squeeze myself down a little bit. There we go. So, this sounds kind of speculative. We've got like a removal spell, and I mean, I guess we can play both our threats, but we probably want to redraw that, get something a little bit earlier. Actually, I'm going to change that Icaria in the market. I'll keep this. It's kind of bad, but we'll be able to play Sediti pretty likely. I will just like torch this initiate on 1, and then our turn 2 is kind of fine. Playing the basic fire sigil puts us off Sediti by like a turn, but I think that's kind of fine. So actually what I want instead of Icaria is the new Fetcher. So just fire this up, and we're probably going to have this as like an actual spell. So opponent's got like a fast spell there, so it's like they've got a torch. Things like that you can sort of figure out. Like I'm guessing it's not like Tally's intervention or anything like that. So because we've got like so many power, just like not playing the Crownwatch round, it is just going to be a spell. Probably at some point, should be able to use it to blow out the torch. That'd be nice. But as we stand right now, a lot of our threats that we could draw would get hit quite badly by this as well. So the thing I want to do is I want to change the Icaria for a Fetcher, because nearly I think every single one of our units is a Justice unit. So I'm going to hold fire on the Icaria. I don't want to get her torched. I'd much rather play them and hold up this. And I think, so there's a couple of things going on. We can play them, ultimate them, They won't get the +3/+2, which wouldn't protect them from Torch anyway. So I'm just going to play them like this. We know about the Torch. We're going to try and protect ourselves from the Torch with the Crownwatch tactic. That'll trade 1 for 1. If our opponent's got a second Torch, that's kind of fine. We've still got the 1 power. Let's just like hit this, just like no blocks. What I really want to do is just attack with this and just get Sediti in play. Like, we don't care about the extra power. We've got like 5 power in play. We've got a million like here going on already. So just attack here. We know our opponent's got the Torch, so let's have this is kind of nice. Maybe they just like got rid of it because they're just like, what's this mono justice control deck? It's never going to be good. Yeah, so I've got the curse off. Curse is really important. Our opponent could just like get something to deal with this at some point. We can just like Torch this, whatever. Usually Praxis doesn't have too much in the way of combat tricks. Oh, they're playing that deck. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we need to kill our opponent pretty quickly. But at least we get to like draw some cards. So Valkyrie Enforcer is probably not quite what we're looking for. So we can attack our opponent for 10 here. We can get him for like another bunch here. We've got 6, got 9 more points. Don't think we really need that too much. So do we just like put them to being pretty dead if we do that? I think we do, so let's just do that. We'll just use one here just to gain a bunch of life. But I'm going to save one to protect this just to keep our threats like in play. And then we should be able to just kill our opponent like next turn. So our opponent's going to glimpse here, going to attempt to go off. We just need to survive basically. And the reason I didn't ultimate the Icaria is because I want to be able to hold this up. Don't think we could have played a power there. Can't remember now. Time is interesting. So opponent could very well just be whiffing here. Yeah, opponent's whiffed. That's what we wanted, is for them not to be able to kill us. You know, we're at 10 up here. We're probably going to be killing them. So let's go back to the deck, because I am going to change that for Svetcher. So if we put Svetcher in the market in the same place as Icaria, so it's not got quite the same impact as Icaria in that it's not a charge unit, but it means that all of our units, because I'm pretty sure all of our units are Justice here, we get to turn them all into like big old boys. So what I'm interested in here is if we get rid of the Valkyrie Spy Guards, so we don't have much at 4 at this point, but I think that's fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to put Whirling Duo in, because then we get like a sort of a value off Svetcher. Svetcher's heavier on just Justice rather than Justice and Fire, so that makes our power base a lot nicer. I wonder how far we can go if we just had like 1 Fire Sigil, so we can always just play like Amilli and Sediti just on 5. I do wonder, but I don't want to go too deep on that quite yet. We don't have any 4-drops, which is kind of awkward. Maybe we do want to play like some Marley, because Marley's pretty good at buffs. If we just like put 3 of them in, so we've got like a 3-drop, you know. Although another thing I actually like doing sometimes is I like having a 4-drop in the market so you can get it. So sometimes when I'm playing Argenport, I will put like a Crownwatch traitor in the market just so that with your merchants you should be able to just always have a 4-drop, because the most important thing in that deck is you just curve out. And whether or not like Crownwatch guys good or not is sort of like depends on the matchup, but generally on average if you're an Argenport deck and you just go like 2, 3, 4, 5, your opponent's dead. It doesn't really matter like the quality of your threats. So I think that's what we'll do, is get rid of plate, just put Marley in the market. So we're going to change the deck like quite a lot in terms of what it does, and Sheriff Marley's not going to get buffed by Svetcher, but that's fine. Like all of these, we've got 33 units that all get hit by Svetcher, so some of these are kind of nice hits, like Whirling Duo just got like a Svetcher hit on a charge unit, Svetcher hit on a Rakano Smuggler with double damage. That is nice, let me tell you. So we'll play another 2 games with this, see how we feel. Okay, so we're on play. We get to do this, which is kind of good, so I think we'll do that. I think because we've got 2 Bulletshaper's, we could probably just like snap off like a privilege on turn 2, just to, yeah, we don't need millions of privileges though. Like, kind of sad that we had to shift the premium one. I like this. So this lets us, I believe we get to play and ultimate Icaria, because this goes up to 5. Gets us a really quick like way of turning this into a 4-3 flyer, which is just good. to crack our opponent for 2 here. If they make a 2-4 charge, we'll probably don't block because... Okay, they're making a really merchant, that's fine. Maybe they're getting something like a... I don't know, maybe they're getting the Sandstorm Scarf, which I'm sort of fine with, really. Just always be attacking. So, this goes up to... So we can't play... We played a source this turn, but we're not able to play Rizahn, which kind of stinks, really. So I'll just play both our things. Next turn, I think we'll just like discard this. Oh, that's our point was fetching. That's fine. So this is potentially another warp deck. That'd be tedious. So I think this turn we just attack with everyone and make Rizahn. This will put us up to Rizahn this turn, and then the turn after we can just make Telut and have Telut with Rizahn going off. That should be good. I should kill our opponent pretty quickly here, to be honest. So I am just going to ace base. Our opponent takes 2, you know, and we get to take this out. Power's really important in warp decks. So we just like, oops, we boop this. It's like potentially maybe Amilli was better there. Because we get like a real thick boy. Careless Persuader, yikes, our opponent is going deep. Actually, I'll take that. So this is telling me that our opponent's just like a regular Praxis deck. And we're nowhere near getting like a lifesteal here. This is fine. I'll just trade it. I could have just taken the damage, but Persuader's kind of juicy actually. So do I just want to Telut here, or do I just like set up the Amilli? I think we'll just crack our opponent for 6 and we'll just make Amilli. I think Amilli's good. So our opponent's going ham with these smugglers. I actually really like this smuggler. Be interested to see what this does for like a tokens deck actually. Okay, well, could attack all and just like kill the merchant again, so I think that's what we're going to do. Just beat this, just get out of here. And pretty much whatever our Praxis opponent could do with 6 power just isn't going to save him. Okay, so they're going for Divine Rod. So this is a Charge Rod, so could be famous last words, we could just be dead here. Amaran Stinger and Godan is probably not going to do it. So there's 2 hits, yeah. I'm interested to see that we play 2 games against 2 very different Praxis decks, though. So I think it's just straight redraw, just like 2 powers, just not enough. We're on the draw, and we do sort of like need a few extras, so this is fine, I guess. We've got any double fire requirements we need sorted with Bulletshaper, so we're just able to like fetch like Justice Sources, which is nice. Would like to draw a merchant, especially given like how much power this hand basically is. Going hand with the older moats. Oh, nice. So not Huru Pledge, just probably some sort of like Huru control deck, which you know could be whatever. We're drawing like quite a lot of power considering we're playing 25, but we're playing a lot of like power 2s as well, so some of our hands are just going to feel a lot more power heavy than they actually are. I don't feel like we actually need to be going for the bullet shape here. We can do this next time if we need it. Like if we drew a 5-drop, I'd just like snap it off, to be honest. Because our opponent might not be able to deal with it for a couple of turns, especially like a Sediti. Yeah, so I think I'll just do that. We still have the charge threat, but we just get to play Amilli, which just seems good. So our opponent can just have like a... I don't know, what do they have these days? Vanquish? But if they don't, we get to have a little bit of value. Yeah, Vanquish. Life goes on. So not ideal, realistically, but we get to attack here for 5. Man, we had like no other targets, so we get Defiance here, probably on the 3-3. Yeah, I thought this game's probably going to be slipping out of our control because we don't have anything that'll just like draw us millions of cards here, like a cookbook. So we probably are kind of reliant on just like drawing a Sediti, or just warping one perhaps next turn would be ideal. So Throne Warden's no good for us here. Probably going to have to like throw the towel in pretty soon. I think this is worth. Yep, definitely worth. Before this way, our opponent's just suspicious of our fishy play here, but it's fine. We'll just play Sediti. Get this on them as soon as possible. Perhaps this prompts like the Omen of Austerity, which I'm more than fine for. So sometimes your opponent gets a card that's really narrow and only does like a very little thing. Like, I'm fine with that. So we block, so we don't take damage. If our opponent hailstorms afterwards and kills this, we've basically got a bunch of cards out of them for free. Oh, so they're making their own Sediti. That's no good. Well, now I just want light. Huh. I suppose we'll do that as well. So what have we got in here? We are at 6. We go to 7 next turn. So we can pretty safely just get the Martyrs chains that just probably go huge. I'm probably just going to get Svecha though, because that's pretty big for us. So we crack him in the face, so we definitely get our thing going on. I'm just going to get like Svecha. I think rather than messing around with privilege, I think we just get this. Just make this happen like in a couple of turns. All of our threats are just like absolutely huge. Maybe at that point, like, because Bulletshaper only pays for himself. Maybe at that point, is this hand and deck? That's just deck only. Okay. Well, we'll Crest here. So Crest bottom, we are going to Whirling Duo here. Just going to crack our opponent in the face for free, so that we stop them from drawing a card. If they want to partial this again, I think that's fine. We just want to get to a point where we can just play this. So hopefully our opponent's not just like Rain of Frogs in or the Royal Decree in us, because Royal Decree would bite, because this is what I'm playing for, is just to make this fetch happen. So our opponent's not dead, so they're going to let us do this as well, which is cool. But they're unable to, because they're on the back foot, they're unable to attack us back. So even though we both got this, we're getting like value out of ours and our opponent's not. Although even if they drew a card, kind of fine, because they just gave us like a Throne Warden. Even though like we swapped Throne Warden for a Bulletshaper. Actually, kind of drawing a million cards is not the best combo with First Fetcher. Because I want him in our deck. We're going to draw him later. But this Fetcher's good. We've got like 2 massive threats like in hand at the minute. So even if we don't draw a unit for a little while, like we've got this to keep our opponent busy. Also just like a 6/6 Aegis. Yeah, we got there. So new era, play the 6th Scion. That must be the first time I've ever played her. Ah, nice. So I'm just gonna play one more just because the game's been kind of quick. Yeah, I think redraw this just doesn't quite do it. Ideally, I just want double justice on 2. This is probably kind of fine actually. I've got like a bit of an interactive spell. I've got Bulletshaper to get us ahead. It's not helping us with fire, but it's going to help us with justice. I'm actually looking forward to any sort of world where this is a cycle that gets completed. So Icaria does ramp us up, but it's also kind of slow. So I guess I'll just bottom that. I'd rather just find like a way of just playing this next turn. So I guess we'll just do this. And as I pointed out, doing them from 3, I don't want them to get to 4. So I just want to torch this. If they stand together here, that's fine. That's like not a blowout. I've almost got a 2/2. You know, basically got like a Genetrix, I guess. But we've got rid of a stand. So stand's not going to be like massively important, but it could really blow out like a pristine turn, which would be kind of awful for us. So play the power first so we can hide any torches that we've not got. And then next time we can get up to, so we go to 4, we go to 6 of the privilege of rank. So the initiation opponents are going off here. They must be playing like the Combrade Smuggler. Well, they've identified like a threat, that's kind of like correct of them. Happy it plays out here. I'm just like, the Combrade deck's probably not got too much in the way of removal for our Icaria. Like, just not blocking. Just going to do this next turn. It doesn't speed us up too much. But we get a 4/3, and I'm probably going to keep this in play. So I'm not going to trade here. Just going to attack, deal our 4, and then next turn, just sort of like hope they survive, so no Vanquishes, please. So we get to start going off with Telut. So we've got Vanquished, but that's fine. If our opponent doesn't have a second one, then we should be in kind of good shape because hopefully we're able to stabilise. Oh, Emerald Coin getting us. Okay, there's fine. So what do we want? So Char doesn't do anything, kind of sad. Fetch is kind of good next turn. Could play Marley and Red Canyon Smuggler. That's probably the best use of our power. Don't want Privilege Rank anymore. Just going to get Marley. Because then we've got things that swap with both of our opponent's units. Or trade rather. If we'd use one, Stand Together, maybe Stand Together was just really important at them keeping the power there. Maybe it's because they've got multiples. So we do need to be mindful of that. But if we can just like trade with this and maybe keep Marley in play. So we can start spitting out the 1/1s just to like block the 4/4. That's good. So if they put a sword, that'd be kind of a problem for us. They don't have like double block whatever made the sword. Okay, well this is kind of fine. I guess we'll just attack here because it pops Aegis, makes this slightly smaller, and we get to attack with like a 10-4. So I probably might be incentivized to attack, maybe not. If this is a Defiance or like a Reinvigorate, I'd be surprised. But our opponent's perhaps just taking that there because, well, maybe they've just got us dead. Like maybe they've got like Vanquish plus like Pump Spell and we're just dead. That's what that'd usually tell you. Like if your opponent's willing to just take 10 when they just don't need to. Either they really cared about getting to 6 or you're dead. But because the opponent's got taken a while to do this play, I'm feeling like they've not actually got us dead. I mean, we do happen to be because of like the play they've made here. They're just going to 8 us and or just like 5 us. Yeah, Sword of Unity kind of does it. Yeah, that's rough. So we've got Amilli. So again, you're saying there's a chance. I'm just attacking for 10 that doesn't do anything. We sort of like need to be in a position where we just like make up some blocks here. Both our opponent's units having Overwhelm as well is kind of awkward because the Amilli spam isn't going to be able to help us really. So we just need to like get consistent hits here. So would bar help? Yeah, probably. So if we draw like another merchant, we'll be kind of fine. Also, we're basically 10, so we can nail that merchant plus do a thing. But our opponent's taking a while in their turn, so they've got like decisions to make. We've got no decisions to make really. With the point now, we're just like I've just got power in hand, doesn't do anything. Yeah, second sword probably does it. Yeah, because this one hits for 6, this one... Huh, that's interesting. Well, we're just going to play our threat. I think attacking there doesn't do anything. I think the 8 toughness helps quite a lot. Because we'll be able to block this, double block this. Take power, not quite what we want, but let's just get power out of our deck. We'll play it so there's no like... Sugar, don't want to do that. Let's use our ability and then attack. Deck fin is super marginal, usually just nonsense, but don't think I missed attack with this. But if we can just like not draw a nonsense card, then I'll be really happy. So I think here we just don't want our opponent to go around us. If both our flyers, well, if any of our flyers survive, basically 2 or more, then we should be able to win next turn. I think we just want to put things in play, just kill our opponent's attackers, so we have got easier blocks. Our opponent, you know, they did like a reasonable attack with like the 6/6. Did they both have lifesteal? Maybe our opponent could have attacked there, but I'm not going to give them a hard time about it. They basically like sort of have to win that turn, so. So on the draw, but 2 Amillis. Can't possibly keep it. This is kind of fun actually, because we can just make like a turn 3. Oh, can't make a turn 3 Sediti because we don't have the influence. Ah, it stinks. Well. Well. I'm sad. We'll probably just do the thing with Icaria, which makes these huge, which I'm kind of okay with. Let's just do this. So we could pop Privilege now because it lets us play Icaria. But I'd rather be able to play and activate same turn. Aww. So I guess we just do the similar play, but less exciting. So torch this, just get rid of that. Play the old Valk and then crack them for 2. Good old fashioned way. Yeah, maybe we should have gone for it because we'd had like the thing now, but it's kind of fine. We're still pretty close to just being able to do this because we're going to hopefully activate this turn if our opponent doesn't silence it. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that's bad. Do we keep that? What does it do for us? Char. I mean, we'll keep it because, like, we're going to be super busy because we're just going to like Sediti into Sediti. Well, I guess we'll keep it because later on that'll be fine. We're just going to keep all things in play. Our opponent could Sediti us, which would be rough. Guess that's what this attack's about. Oh, there's a Rime Conclave, that's fine. Oh, Rime Conclave beats our Sediti. It's fine, we've got 2 of them, doesn't matter. So we'll do the first one because it'll pop our opponent's face Aegis. Probably to block this? Yeah, that's fine. Probably should have kept that one back, but it pushes damage, so it's fine. So we'll do the first one, pops our opponent's face Aegis, gives them a threat to deal with, and then perhaps we'll just try and do it again next turn. I feel kind of fine if we're able to sort of like pressure our opponent, because we do have to be mindful of like our opponent's Sediti's, Palaces. Just want to be able to just pressure our opponent a little bit. Sediti is a real good card though. Fire Style's a thing, so we are not blocking. So is like Hailstorm. Hailstorm's not quite what we're looking for though. Reclaim? Oh, okay, that's fine. What's this? Oh, Reclaim into Vanquish. I guess that makes sense. I think just like crack with ease. Let's play another one. Seems fine. I mean, we're not going to draw a card this turn. Probably should have only attacked with one of them instead of just being sort of greedy for the attacks, but... Uh-oh. Palace is here. Well... What are we making huge? Making that big boy? Yep, you got a tiger. So we can't really do much to this. I guess we'll just make... attack Palace, then we can either kill it with Rizahn, if any damage gets through. Or we just make another Sediti, which seems fine, because then we can double block. I know it's kind of a big boy, but I think right now we need a bit more than that. But yeah, hopefully we get to dual block. If we all get to single block, then... Okay, opponent's going for the Wisdom, so looking for like a removal spell. If they've got one removal spell, we're still pretty dead though. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, so Winchester Merchant probably for Vanquish, so we can't double. I'm kind of a... Okay, so maybe it's a combat trick. If it is, that's fine. We're doing 12, our opponent needs to find like 5 points. Pristine Light could be a thing. Oh, the City, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's okay by me. So Privilege Rank, Torch, not quite what we want. But we do get to attack this kind of nicely. So we'll do this because we can. Do we just do Sigil? Guess it's a little bit closer to lifesteal at least. Torch this. Pop this. I'm not sure if our opponent's like going to fight over this or not. Yeah, so let us have it. So the probably got replacement. It's like snap block, like no matter what here. I guess our opponent also got to draw 2 because of that. I also feel it was a nice inclusion in the opponent's deck because that helps you quite a lot in a lot of matchups. Like against time decks that are playing with Teacher and Lord Wielder. That's interesting. But we've got to draw some cards. I like that. How far are we away from lifesteal here? Just do this? I think we do. Oh. Well, I have to wrap this one up pretty quickly because the dog's going wild. Let's take our opponent like pretty much for dead here. I guess we'll just like Valkyrie. I mean, I should probably just like go to the market and grab something like Svetcher, but I think it's not going to matter. If our opponent like Casuals here or Pristine Lights, then it's still kind of fine because we're not letting them through for damage. And they just get to draw to, just get Smuggler, get Svetcher, that'll probably kill him. Yeah, Wisdom, so probably trying to draw into Pristine Light. Yeah, so you can say, yeah, we've got it. Pristine Light being able to just wipe the board is just a real spooky thing at like free cost though. Like, our opponent still probably had very reasonable outs. Okay, so there we have it. Valkyries are probably still a deck that you can play. So there's a lot of powerful things that you can actually do. And, you know, one of the age-old powerful things is just like Bulletshaper, Bulletshaper rank. Just puts you up, lets you play like a 5-drop just ahead of schedule. So that's just really good. I think that we're basically mono Justice, and that's fine. You know, the fire sources, we don't need that many. We've got everything apart from 2 creates Justice and not fire. So we've only got like 2 draws in our deck that's kind of stinky if we just want to like natural Sediti. But we've also got like Seek Power to get our fire, because fire's not super important. And it's less important now with the market just having Svetcher in it rather than Icaria. I think that this is definitely, you know, a powerful deck. It didn't take long to brew it, but then again, we've got like an existing concept of what this deck is just from previous sort of expansions where this deck was actually kind of, you know, just a powerful deck that you would master with. Other than that, keep the hits going. This set has been absolutely fantastic. I feel like, even though I'm making content at the moment, like quite consistent clips, like nearly every other day, I feel like I'm not going to run out, especially because we're speeding up the delivery of actual new sets. I think from what it looks like, there's probably, rather than like 3 months between things, it's going to be like 2 and a bit months, which is just like a lot different. You know, maybe if it's 4 or 5 months between big sets and there's like a campaign in the middle, that's much nicer than previously where it'd be like 6 months delayed and really it's like 7 and a bit months. But yeah, thanks for watching. I think that resolves. See you around.